Stephen Levitt and Dr. Epstein were friends, and his wife came to Seattle. He had her go down first to see Shifu before the rest of us went down because she was having difficulties. So he sent her down. And Shifu had her write a letter in answer to Dr. Epstein's request. And what Dr. Epstein requested is, would Shifu at Christmas time please come up and conduct a week meditation session in Seattle? He said, I know there will be people that would come. So he had Nancy, who was Stephen's wife, write the answer in beautiful English script, which said, I can't leave San Francisco because there'll be an earthquake if I do. So, but I'd be happy to host you at the Buddhist lecture hall for a week of meditation. So there was nothing to do but go. So he asked me if I wanted to go. Dr. Epstein asked me if I wanted to go. I didn't know anything. Didn't know Chinese, didn't know Buddhism, nothing. Didn't know what meditation was. But I said yes, so I arranged. I had a child and a husband, and so I arranged with my family that I'd be gone for 7 days, and they were very kind. They let me go, and I also had a job. I had to work it all out, so I went. And at the very last minute, Dr. Epstein told us he was flying back to Shaker Heights, Ohio, where he lived with his parents before he came out west. And we had to go to the Buddhist lecture hall all by ourselves. He wasn't going to be there to help. So Randy and Teresa Dinwiddie, who were a married couple at the time and good friends of Dr. Epstein, and I drove my car. So we took turns driving. We got to the Buddhist lecture hall about dusk, toward evening. And of course we were kind of scared because we figured we'd have Dr. Epstein with us and, you know, he'd break the ice. So we had to climb up. It was four-story flats, so we had to climb up 4 flights of stairs. And then we went in. It was very dim and dark in the lecture hall, and Shifu was sitting there. 3 of us had no Chinese, and he, we didn't think, had any English. So we sort of made sign language, you know. And so he invited us in, he invited us to sit, and so we sat at the Buddhist lecture hall was multi-purpose because it was only one big room. And then a hall that had the library along the hall, and then Shifu's room, which was very small. Beyond Shifu's room, right beside it, was the kitchen, and there was a toilet, no sink, no shower, just a toilet. And then you went up the stairs to the roof. So there was really only one big room. So we sat there's a big table in the room, so we sat at the table in the room, and Shifu excused himself, the master excused himself, and he went to the back, and he came back with a big pot of soup, one big pot and a big spoon. And he went back, and then we jumped up because we realized he was fixing our dinner. And so then I think Teresa went in and we brought out the utensils, and so then we had our meal. That was my first meeting. We had no idea that who Shifu was, and that this sage was serving us dinner. You know, we hadn't seen him or known him long enough to realize that. So there was a bit of embarrassment because he was the oldest among us, and so, you know, carrying the soup pot all by himself, that kind of embarrassment, but not really realizing who he was. So during the meal, it was a strange soup, I have to say, because I didn't eat Chinese food. I came from Ohio, and there weren't Chinese in Ohio. And I don't remember my parents ever having any Chinese food except at home, and mostly I didn't like it. My mother was a very social person, and she taught us social niceties, things you should do in a situation. So I thought the thing to do, because as you say, none of us, we didn't have a language in common. So I would take a bite, I would take some of my soup and there would be some blob on top that I didn't know what it was. And I would sort of go like this, okay, sign language. And, you know, and I would say, what is it? Well, he probably could figure out what is it means. And then he would tell me in Chinese some name, you know, Donggu or something, you know. And I would say, oh, you know, and then eat it. And that went on only a few times. I did it 3 or 4 times. And then he just said, and this must have been in broken English. He basically said, why don't you just eat the soup? And boom, he stopped me so short. And I realized, because I'm a very strong woman and in my life, not many people dare to counter me or to correct me, you know? And he did. So I realized in that moment, oh, he could probably teach me, because he would just stop me short if I, you know.
所以我呀，到什么地方，我讲出来话都是人家不愿意听的话。
这个佛教讲堂以前呢，在华佛，那么一个小小的楼房，4楼上边，第一个暑假班在那儿开的，这是1968年。这个暑假班，当时这个暑假班呢是96天，在这96天呢，有很多人从西雅图来参加这个暑假班，所以在这一个暑假班96天呢，勉强把这个楞严经讲完了。那么讲完楞严经，就有5个人呢出家，5个人之中有3个比丘，2位比丘尼。这是在美国最初有人正式出家受具足戒一个开始。今年这个暑假班，这个大家修行，那么有从很远的地方来的，到这参加我们这个暑假讲修班的人呢，都是有大善根的人。这些个人或者是从天上来的，或者是从星球里来的，或者从其他世界来的。那么到这个国家来，这个没有佛法的国家，能以遇到佛法，这一定都是有大善根，并且都是从很远的地方来。那么把这个暑假这个黄金的时代来研究佛法，那么这是很有价值的一件事。所以每一位不要怕苦，不要怕难，不要怕功课太多，要拿出你的忍耐性来学习佛法，这才不会白来到金山寺一次。到这来不要空着手走。